Santos now ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line.
To Harris to begin the drive. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Now Pickett.
Dancing to his left. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on third down. And third down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. On first down, Fields.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Room here to run.
Down the sideline he goes.
A big play there on the catch and run. 43 yards.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
Pollard will take it in. Touchdown, Bears. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd and a couple, Pickett. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson.
And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown.
Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Ball for touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bears will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at the 45. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On play action, Fields.
Rolling to his right. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right.
And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard, and he'll take this one down near the 15. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Fields. That's complete to Mooney.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead, and part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Santos' kick is up and through, and that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter. They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
First and 10, here's Pickett.
Steps away to his left.
Pickett lost it.
And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. So he went out of the pocket left, and then things got dicey.
And what often happens is when they get outside, they want to keep their eyes downfield in order to try and complete a pass. But when they try to make a play, they've got to get their footwork involved, and that can really mess them up as well. And in this case, nothing went right, and the ball got knocked free. That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Pickett will look to throw it here. Pass complete. George Pickens with it.
They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth.
Here's Presley Harvin now.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Fields.
And a diving effort, but only right at the line of scrimmage.
Fields to Mooney for the Chicago first.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You circle the Pro Bowl. Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
They'll run left with Pollard
to about the 33-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run.
And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact.
A gain of 22. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Now a give here to Pollard. Oh, what a juke into space. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Tony Pollard, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Bears are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
The point after through the raindrops up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now a first down carry for Harris. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
On 2nd down and 4, Pickett. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Pickett now to throw off the play fake.
They'll roll him out right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Harris running straight ahead. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Well, it's intercepted. They got Pickett for the 3rd time in this game. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield, try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get position for at least 3 points.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Now it's Fields. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Akello Witherspoon. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown.
So maybe some signs of life. I mean, this has been a defense. They've been all over the map here in this first half, but they're coming through with a big play.
And sometimes that one play is what you need. And it sounds overly simple, but this is a team that was close to being down and out before halftime. So to come back and return the interception for a touchdown, that's big.
Yeah, maybe it can serve, Charles, like you were alluding to, as a little bit of a wake-up call for them. We'll see. Pulls it in at the 13. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
Throws right side, and that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At the 31-yard line. So the drive's going to start with Pollard.
To about the 35, 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
From the 35 on 2nd down.
Fields.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Here's Fields.
And this is thrown to the sideline. No receiver in the area, though, and that's going to bring out a flag.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete.
It's a nice completion and a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields.
Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds a defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Pickett to throw on 1st down. He's got this to Pickens. Finding room at midfield. And he's going to get this down inside the 40 before he's finally ridden out of bounds.
A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 41 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver here in motion right.
To the air on first down with Pickett. Finding Pickens for another catch.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
George Pickens.
39 yards.
And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit.
Boswell good with the extra point. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Pulls it in at the 13.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score.
They find some open field here. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
Tony Pollard
with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns.
And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Pickett sets up play action.
Flush to his right. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Pickett now on first down.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Marquise Bell.
There he goes left side. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown.
Well, whatever adjustments they're trying to make over on that sideline, Charles, this defense, they just seem to be a step in front of them and not giving them a chance to implement any of those changes. And here, a pick-6, and they widen the lead.
At least a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps. And right now, they are thinking hard about putting this opponent away. That turnover, it grew their lead and just totally deflated that offense. Now these next couple of series, you can take them out of the game entirely if you continue on this pace.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Harris going to get it again on second down.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Well, Pickett finding Johnson there. First down, Steelers.
Every guy that plays this game has plenty of people around him that are concerned for his health and well-being. He had no regard for his body on that catch at all, did he?
Middle of the field, diving to grab it? No, he didn't.
Off the play fake, here's Pickett.
And my goodness, another interception. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right.
And now here is another interception. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. Down the numbers. There he goes.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back, drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
Now here's another carry for Harris. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. A gain of 2, just like we saw on 1st and 2nd down as well. Deuce is wild.
Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. So following the failed try on 4th down, will change ends and change possession.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on down's the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This will be fielded at the 17. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trailed big in this 4th quarter.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And the tight end goes in motion left. Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Pickett finds Pickens out right.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Pickett.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Pickett, 4th down, desperation time.
Forced out to his left. And my goodness, another interception. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. And they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bears are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Santos with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally,
throw left side is complete on the diving effort.
Pickett to his tight end, Freiermuth, for the Steeler first. Looking to throw, Pickett. Got an open man, it's Pickens.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down.
Back to throw, Pickett. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
Well, he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that, but I think that they were right about this one.
Now Pollard. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Miles Jack there to make the tackle. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15.
74 yards rushing for him now to this point. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage.
The Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal.
From the left hash, this from 34. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And now here is another interception.
Kyler Gordon picks it off.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. Guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right?